nunchucks and shit you couldn't get your hands on.
Well, it's funny you bring that up because you remember that TV show, The Master, with Lee Van Cleef.
Yes.
Well, the first episode of it, directed by the same guy who directed Enter the Dragon.
Robert Klaus, that's hilarious.
Right?
And that's Sho Kosugi. Sho
Kosugi was on that show too. So,
Jesus.
And then blink and you'll miss Jackie Chan and Enter the Dragon. I see him every time now because Bruce grabs his hair, pulls his head back, and you get that close up to Bruce's face while he like snaps his neck off camera. But it's like, hey,
is that Sammo in the first fight scene?
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
I believe so. Yeah,
that's Sammo Hung in the first fight scene, right? Because I'm like, okay.
Welcome to Season 3 of Talking Pondo. Talking Pondo is a podcast where Cliff and Marty give each other a film to watch and talk about them in detail. Some episodes will include a special guest.
Williams Drinks His Juice in the Hood will not be seen this week, so we may bring you the following gratitude. Yeah, I came up with that at the last second, guys, but I was like, oh shit, I don't have my joke ready, so.
There can't always be bangers, right? Sometimes you just gotta, sometimes you get a little Bomo, a little Johnny Carson there,
Yeah.
Well, welcome back, listeners. We got 2 more movies. We're talking Pondo. I'm Cliff.
I'm Marty.
Yep. We got a guest today.
The guest this week, bringing on Robert Linden for the first time. You know him from many things. The Z, Crewing Up, Revenge of Zoe. Wait a minute, those are the credits that probably I know. But you know him probably the best as Jean from Jean the Alien Interviews, that web show that we put out back in the day, and that will hopefully be seeing the light of day again very soon, and among other new projects from Robert. But it's good to have you on the show, Robert.
Hey, thank you. Thank you for having me.
So what movies did you bring us today?
What movies did I bring you today?
Yeah.
I bought you Enter the Dragon, and I'm going to get you, Sucka.
Oh, nice.
Looking forward to that. That's going to be good. That's really going to be good.
Yeah,
we gave you a couple other movies to pick from, but I had a feeling it's going to be Enter the Dragon because I've been keeping that to the side until we asked Robert on the show because I'm like, well, he's kind of the perfect person to have on to talk about this. So,
yeah. Kung Fu Joe is now one of my favorite characters of all time.
Yes.
Just throwing that out there. I was just like, dude, this guy's absolutely nailing the ridiculousness of this role, to just a completely perfect degree.
Watching that again, it really did make the early episode of Jean make so much more sense to me.
It so did.
I'd seen that movie years ago, but it's like, oh, this was the tone. This was the tone. Oh,
yes, it will.
Yeah.
Now, Kung Fu Joe is always one of my favorites.
Oh, he was spectacular, especially when he gets shot. And we'll get there. We'll get there.
I'm gonna do some brief viewer mail first. Yeah.
Oh, you got some viewer mail? Great. Okay.
Real quick.
I was going to ask which one we wanted to start with, but yeah, let's go through that viewer mail.
Yeah.
I love getting the viewer mail.
Yeah. They're both about that holiday episode we did last year with Mixed Nuts and Mazes and Monsters. The 2 movies that everybody watches on Christmas, right? Yes. Yep. The Talking Figgy Pondo. Was that like figgy pudding? Was that supposed to be?
I think so.
I guess if you have to explain the joke, it's not funny, right? So,
yeah, I guess so.
So, I guess this counts. Dylan writes in. Dylan was on the episode, but he still writes in about the episode. And he says, now this is some high quality discussion about some low quality features. So, but
classic Dylan Schlinder to comment on his own episode.
I still say it's worth watching. And also we got another comment on Mazes and Monsters from Ben Haslar, another one of the hosts of Reels of Justice, where he says it's a far out game. And you might lose your mind if you play Mazes and Monsters. If you can find us a module, please send us a copy. I can't.
Oh, please. That would be great. I'd love to see some of those paper figures too, if you can send those our way.
Unpainted, awesome. Please.
Unpainted, please. Yeah, we want to paint our own paper figures.
So I guess that was viewer mail viewer comments, but still keep sending them in and we'll keep reading them and responding to them.
That's right. And it looks like it looks like it's possible. I think since Dylan was on here, you may reach out and maybe have me prosecute all of me, which should be fun. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. But anyways, onto our content today. We have Enter the Dragon and I'm Gonna Get You, Sucka. Which one do you guys want to start with?
Oh, I want to start with I'm Gonna Get You, Sucka.
Mm-hmm.
Good choice.
Yeah, I think that's the right choice.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm Gonna Get You, Sucka. Let me see here. Let me give you the log line and the storyline for the folks listening. So, I'm Gonna Get You, Sucka, 1988, rated R, hour and 28 minutes. In this parody of Blaxploitation movies, a black hero wannabe reunites with former black heroes from the 70s to help him get revenge on Mr. Big. This is directed and written by Keenan Ivory Wayans, stars Keenan Ivory Wayans, along with, again, just a ridiculously packed cast. This is another one of those movies where it's just talent everywhere. Mm-hmm. Storyline. Jack Spade returns home from the army in his old ghetto neighborhood when his brother Junebug dies from OG, over gold. Jack declares war on Mr. Big, powerful crime lord. His army is led by John Slade, his childhood idol who used to fight bad guys in the 70s. Kind of a crappy storyline, but yeah, that's basically
it. I haven't seen this much boomer energy in a movie since we covered Sneakers a few weeks back. It's nice to see all the middle-aged men out there kicking ass again. You don't see it too much in movies. But even if it is a parody, it still was fun to see. I remember renting this back in, it must have been 89.
Yeah.
When it hit video, and loved it ever since.
Yeah, we talked about this one in high school a lot because it was such a weird movie. It's really, really funny. It's hilarious, and it's got that kind of that airplane type of comedy. But he goes and he takes it and makes it his own instead of kind of copying it, right? Like,
right.
Like Top Secret is a kind of a copy of the comedy of Airplane, and then you get these diminishing returns of Hot Shots. And I'm not saying those movies aren't funny, but they're not at the same level, and they just kind of keep becoming photocopies of that same kind of the same style of jokes. But Keenan takes it, and by putting Blaxploitation forefront of the films, I think he takes the comedy and makes it his own and takes a whole like right hand turn and is just like, I'm going to do my own shit, but it's going to be it'll echo that. Like there's certain jokes where you're like, oh, that'd be Airplane, right? Like you could hear that, but then at the same time, he's doing so many other things. I mean, that fucking the Street Olympics or whatever that was with the fucking TVs and shit. Yeah, like, I had completely forgotten about that. I was like, holy shit, this thing just goes for it.
Yes, I want when the best part of that was the referee is like, I want all this shit clean, and they strip the car.
All right, it's like nothing left.
It's a new record. It's a new world record.
New record.
Jesus.
Oh man,
I like how they treat it real for long stretches, unlike Airplane and Top Secret, where it's gag, 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 gag. This stops and presents a story, and then it makes the funny extra funny when the silly kicks back in.
It feels much more Top Secret.
Yeah, but it kind of relates to the real life. Where you see this stuff like, oh man, someone stole my car or somebody took the wheels off my car, but now in the movie you're seeing it being parodied, and you're like, oh, okay, now it's funny that it happened to me.
Yeah, no, totally. The fact that there's nothing but that steering wheel left, and he's just moving the steering wheel at the end of it is so good. And then fucking 5 minutes into this movie, you get Clu Gulager as the cop, which I was just like, fucking Gulager? What the hell?
He's only in the movie very briefly, but there he is.
There he is. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Also, John Witherspoon. Barely in the movie, but there he is. Yeah.
Yeah, there's the preacher. Yep.
It's a Nexus movie. Like, I mean, there's so many careers that are just getting started in this film from fucking Damon Wayans. You've got David Allen Greer. You've got Keenan's very early into his career. And then you've got some kind of the established people. You got the Jim Brown. You got Isaac Hayes. You got all. I mean, it's such a cast, man. It's ridiculously packed.
Chris Rock in there.
Yeah, the rib bit. My God, it's iconic.
His
It is.
character has no reason to be in the movie. It's kind of like, you're funny. We're going to find something for you to do. You're going to come in and just say, just give me one rib.
Yeah, just get one rib.
Which is also Robin Harris's first movie. Blink and you'll miss him.
Yes.
I'm like, that's freaking Bebe's Kids, man.
Yep, behind the bar.
Yep.
Yeah, behind the bar. Yep. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Everywhere you look, there's talent in this thing.
Yeah, Keenan Ivory Wayans' sister as the lounge singer.
Oh, and literally, they say at one point that's the director's sister, and they just point the camera at Keenan, and he just kind of looks to the side, like, oh,
Yeah.
like his mom made him put her in the movie. It's hilarious.
Yeah. I found out Shawn Wayans is in that movie also.
Really?
Yeah, the scene where Fly Guy comes out of prison, he's dressed, dude,
I love that scene.
Sean's in that scene. He's actually one of the people that are running after him.
Right.
Okay.
Like if you look closely, you can see him.
Interesting. That's funny.
And so is Fishbone. The band Fishbone is part of that, laughing at him when he gets out of the jail as well.
Wow.
With his goldfish and the shoes. Yeah.
You know that bit where one of them I think it's when Keenan is with Jim Brown and Isaac Hayes, and they're walking off, and suddenly there's a band behind them, playing.
Oh yeah.
That's like an Airplane bit.
Yeah.
Like that feels like it, you lift that right out of Airplane and put it into this movie, right? So that's what I mean. Like there's these weird echoes to that, but at the same time, like you said, Marty, he's slowing it down, telling a story, working in his Blaxploitation jokes and kind of parodying all those types of movies. Like at one point they even have a talk about how, at the end when they're monologuing with the bad guy, and he's going, What? I'm not good enough to be in exploitation movies. Fucking so and so was in an exploitation movie, and so was so and so. It was great. It was so good.
Man, those bits are just off the cuff, but they're just so great. Just like you were saying with the I'm not good enough to be Shelley Winters. Cleopatra Jones.
Yes, exactly.
With it before it was even a thing. Yeah,
I love it. About the only thing you did do is turn to the camera and talk to the camera and break the fourth wall.
Yeah,
I feel like there was a couple of winks though, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was a moment where the fourth wall was broken, where they're going after Mr. Big's businesses, and then a model comes running out, and she turns around and says another model turned actress on the back of her shirt.
Right. Yeah. Yes, that's good. For me, this is easily one of the best of all the Wayans movies. Like if you put all the Wayans families films together, and I think this is easily one of the funnier, kind of more original ones. Like Scary Movie's fine, but you start to get diminishing returns pretty quickly, and it's kind of an easier type of comedy. This is a little bit harder. It's a little more subtle, right?
Yep.
To me, he's doing a little bit more. He's really making an effort to kind of both give you a story and kind of give you a satirical message about what you've seen over the past. So it's I really like that. I'm watching this going, I haven't seen this in probably 15 years, but it really holds up.
It does to this day. A lot of people won't know what it is, but when you introduce them, they'll like it. It's
the
great.
Overgold, the Overgold won't make sense unless you were around in the 80s and 90s, and you got the Flavor Flavs wearing big clocks and all that kind of shit. The Overgold won't make sense, but I mean, it will as a story device, but not as far as skewering the culture, right?
Yeah, it's like, what does that mean? Well, if you were around, then you would know. Everybody had to have a gold chain. But
I felt like the whole movie was kind of an indictment on gaudy fashion. Like, for God's sakes, just stop with the it's too many chains. It's too much. And like, even when the dude gets out of prison and he's wearing his old 70s outfit and they're laughing at that, it's kind of like, it's a subtle way of saying, just come on, just be stylish and get with it. Don't, that looks terrible. What are you doing? So I thought
it's almost like letting Huggy Bear get back onto the streets and try to take him over, right? Like you pull Huggy Bear out of mothballs, but he's still Huggy Bear from the Starsky and Hutch show, and he put him on the streets of Compton in the 80s and shit.
And finally, he gets a nice new suit. You know, he looks like everybody else. You know, he looks modern by the end of the movie. He gets with it for a while there. Yeah.
Huggy Bear. He was good in that movie. I know. I loved his character as the pimp, and in the pimp pageant, he becomes pimp of the year with his little poem.
I loved that so much. Bitch will have my money. That was so fucking good.
That's something
dude.
I never forgot from this movie.
But why were there a bunch of dudes in bikinis up there when he got his award? It was so weird.
It's the 80s.
Think that's the bikini part of the
like that in the 80s movie.
The pimp rules bikini competition.
Yeah,
the bikini portion. That's nice. Yeah. We didn't get to see the interview portion, but we got to see the swimsuit competition. Okay.
Yeah, that's how it works. Yeah, I love quoting that poem he wrote. It's just every now and then I'll quote it and just say the whole thing. And people are like, what the hell were you, wondering, like, why did I just say it? I'm like, you need to watch I'm Gonna Get You, Sucka. That's why I said it.
I love when he goes to the People's Army, and the dude's married to a white woman with 2 blonde kids. And that kid gives that report on Abraham Lincoln, and his fucking sister's like, preach, brother, preach. I just could not stop fucking laughing at that kid. Like, my God. What happened to the army? And he said the brothers walked in with guns and they came out with jobs.
Yeah.
killed the movement.
You know who the wife was, right?
No.
Right.
That's Jan from Brady Bunch.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. They did a good job of hiding her. I didn't recognize her.
Yeah, that's why they're playing the Brady Bunch music in the background.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Yeah, and I found that. I was like, oh, wait a minute, what? So, yeah, they added her in there. She makes the best bean pie in all the land.
Thanks. I'm already regular. Thanks. I appreciate it. Marty, did you check to see if Robert was selling No Way products before you invited him onto the show? We gotta keep that shit out of. We gotta keep that No Way shit out of here.
No Way products. Oh God, I should probably look into starting to Shopify with that stuff.
I think my favorite part is how tough his mother is, and that restaurant fight where she gets in the fight with those 2 dudes and they just change to a white stuntman with a mustache to do the fighting. And it's so him obviously making fun of these bad stunt doubles. But I just couldn't help but laugh my ass off, man. It's such a sharp, funny comedy. He's really poking fun at a lot of good stuff.
Yes.
You remember when Keenan was in the movies before he eventually was like, I'm going to step behind the camera. But in the early days, it was like he was like the star of, all the way up through. What was the one we were talking about before we got on? Low Down Dirty Shame.
Yeah, Low Down Dirty Shame.
Like that. And then it was like, I'm going to let the rest of the family, like, you kind of got the feeling like he was always more of a director, producer type. But it was like in the beginning, out of necessity, and I can act, I'm going to put myself out here in front. But it's like that quaint early time of the career.
Yeah, but the movie Hollywood Shuffle, him and Robert Townsend, they put that together.
Yeah. There's great stories. Maybe we'll bring that Hollywood Shuffle onto the show at some point. But there's some great stories that Townsend tells about, they would, act and get it all set up, and then they would hop in a panel truck and then drive to a location, and they didn't have any money or permits, and just hop out of the truck into the street, shoot the scene. And then when they see a cop, they just run back into the truck and close the door and hide for a while until, so that's good shit. But yeah, Keenan did some good stuff. This is a great cast. I mean, I want to go over the cast real quick. He got Bernie Casey, who is, oh man, what's the other big movie? He plays a principal in one other movie Bernie Casey does. Which one is that, Marty?
Well, I know he's in Revenge of the Nerds as one of the leader.
That's it. He's the leader of the Tri-Lambs. That's what it is. Yeah. So you get him in that.
He's made a ton of movies, though.
Fly Guy is Antonio Fargas. I'll watch him in anything. You got Kung Fu Joe is Steve James, who is, man, they put him next to um, Jim Brown, and it's like, oh, he's kind of short. He's a little dude.
Oh yeah.
I used to play football, and then he kind of
Yeah.
backed off, like, oh yeah, I guess that's good enough reason.
You got Isaac Hayes, Jim Brown, Janet Dubois, Don
Chef.
Lewis. Yes,
Pre-chef.
pre-chef. Yeah, that's true. This is after his run on Midnight Special, but pre-chef. John Vernon is Mr. Big. You got Clu Gulager. You got Kadeem Hardison. You got Damon Wayans.
Remember when Kadeem was in everything? Like
Yes.
watching this movie again, I'm like, I remember you were all over the place in the 90s. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hawthorne James is One-Eyed Sam. It's a great cast.
It's amazing, yeah. It's like a lot of those guys that kind of blew up from that movie with their careers. It was great. Janet Dubois, her run on The Heat of the Night, didn't it come after this or was it before this?
It probably was maybe right around. We'll have to fact check that. I think Cliff's looking it up there, but I think you're right. I think it was, if I had to guess, I'd say right after. Let's see.
Yeah. Because I would have guessed it was after.
Let me see here.
Like and subscribe.
That's really weird. I mean, I'm looking right at it, and it was in the 80s, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I thought so.
I mean, I'm looking at her 80s credits here, and New Attitude in 1990, Heart Condition 1990, Nearly Departed. Let's see. I'm gonna get you, Sucka.
Oh,
Houston
okay.
Night.
So it's not Janet Dubois. It's Anna Marie Johnson that played his wife. That's her name.
There we go.
Okay, that was my fault.
Why.
Sorry, guys.
That's why. Aha! See? Ha! IMDb never lies.
Yeah,
No.
that's the one that played the prostitute from the bar. Anna Marie Johnson.
That's I do that all the time. So Marty has to correct me constantly.
I also remember her taking her leg off.
Yes.
Yes.
That was a scene that stuck with
My
me.
God, dude. Come get it. I don't want to. No. I still think my favorite part of the movie is the one rib skit because it just kind of comes out of nowhere. And suddenly he's just kind of fucking with this dude from behind the counter, and then pulls out that massive wad of, you got change for 100. And it's like, at that point, I'm just like, as soon as he grabs it, it's like, I'm going to beat the shit out of you. I'm just like, oh my fucking God, I just start laughing out of control.
He
Like,
takes the bag and runs off. Yeah.
And by the way, punching a midget will always be funny. It will never not be funny. I mean, tackling a midget and then punching the shit out of him will always be funny. I shouldn't say that. I'm sorry. Little person. My apologies.
It's a fucking dude from fucking Bad Santa,
my bad.
right?
Yes, exactly.
And
Dude from Bad
Friday,
Santa.
and then the other guy is they just announced him to be at North Carolina Mad Monster.
Really?
Right? Because he's been in everything from Under the Rainbow fucking on up. As you need a little guy. You've seen that guy so many times. I can't think of his name right now, but it's just like, oh, he's popped up like 3 or 4 times on my timeline this week alone.
Wow.
Hopefully they'll send him to Arizona. The horror community knows him because he was Troll.
Mm-hmm.
But he's also in Willow. He's just done a shit ton of stuff. But yeah, it was just like, wow, talk about a Nexus movie. You can really play that Kevin Bacon game to connect everybody back to I'm going to get you, Sucka, in 7 degrees. So
this has also got John Witherspoon in it. And what is John Witherspoon?
You got 2 Friday actors.
Yeah, right? but John Witherspoon is.
Mm-hmm. That dude was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
His comedy was always on point.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I'll watch anything he's in. John Witherspoon's in it, I'll watch it.
Yes. Like, I don't know. I don't think anybody could match his style of comedy acting. It was just over the top, but not so much where you're like annoyed with it. Especially what movie was it? The Friday movies. He played the dad, but his comedy was just there, and you're like,
so good.
You play like the stereotypical father from the hood. Why are you always in the kitchen eating all the goddamn food? But the way he played, you're like, I can relate to that, but it's so funny the way you're doing it.
Mm-hmm.
one of my favorite memories of him is when he's sleeping in the first Friday and he goes, I'll give me the chitlins and all the fries you can give me. And some
Yeah.
hot sauce. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Or when he was in the movie House Party, that little
Jesus.
scene he had in there, he's like, who the hell listening to Public Enema? Why would anybody want a Public Enema anyway? Yeah, he was amazing.
I think if I have anything negative to say about I'm Gonna Get You, Sucka, I'll say that I think the last third suffers from a pacing issue a little bit. Like it's just not as sharp. Probably the last third of the movie is not as sharp as the first third. That first half in particular, really sharp. And then it kind of starts to fade. And then by the last third, we're getting kind of silly deaths. Like Hammer's death is kind of silly. And, and then you Slade's death is kind of silly, but then of course he pops back up and it's just, and I get it. Like at that point, we're kind of riffing on like bad USA war movie type, the Rambos, the, soldiers who come home and have to clean, there was all those movies. I think there was one with Jan Michael Vincent back in the 80s where he comes back to like Boston from Vietnam and he moves into a bad neighborhood and they're harassing him and harassing his wife. And so he takes it upon himself to go cleaning up the fucking streets, those types of movies. There was a whole series of them in the late 70s and the early 80s. And I feel like that last half of the movie starts to more parody that than kind of more Blaxploitation, and it kind of gets lost. It kind of gets lost in itself.
It's like an hour's worth of jokes put into an 80-minute movie.
Yeah, 85-minute movie, yeah.
I think when they get to Don't Drink Your Juice in the Hood, The Menace to Society, I can't think of the whole title, but I think that one's a little bit tighter with its pacing.
Yes.
They got up to that one. I'll have to watch that again someday. But I still like both of these more than... I like the first Scary Movie, and a lot of people like the second Scary Movie, but I always thought that one was a little too gross. It's still funny, but but I prefer these.
This is just sharp. I mean, it's funny, it's sharp, and every time I wanted to kind of roll my eyes at it, it would do something to make me fucking laugh again. Where I was like, this stupid fucking movie, he really nailed it. Like he got it just right, with the comedy and the airplane type antics, but making it his own, making it a Keenan Ivory Wayans thing.
I like that it's R, that they didn't try to soften it to a PG-13 so they can get some of the raunchier jokes, because you need all that to properly send up the genre too. So.
Well, and the nudity is kind of ridiculous. It's that one girl running out of the room with her tits out, kind of looking right at the camera, like and they're, and Keenan's like tries to follow the girl, and they grab it real quick, and it was just kind of like here we got to put that in for the R. Here we go, boom.
Yeah, pretty much.
It is an 80s movie.
Yeah. Oh gosh, I had, what was I going to say? So you brought up earlier about, Kung Fu Joe being, that man was, he, the way I got introduced to him was actually from the American Ninja movies.
Yes.
And then, and then I seen him in I'm Gonna Get You, Sucka. I'm like, no way. And so watching that movie, and then that part where he gets pulled over, and then he's just beating up all the cops, and that quote right there, that when everyone surrounds him, he's like, I'm Kung Fu Joe, master karate, kung fu, jiu-jitsu, and a bunch of other shit you ain't never heard of.
And then all his cops shoot him, and he shows up to warn his buddies, and it's a goddamn one of those fake fucking telephone recordings. Answering. And I started laughing because it was so perfectly timed.
Yeah.
So perfectly placed. I was just like, that's what this movie did. It was just, he really honed his stuff. You know what I mean? But I will also say what he did was he also opened the door to like a lot of possibilities for there's been some bad shit come out of that family as much as there's been some good shit, but you get some great, the Scary Movie in Living Color, your Last Boy Scout, Damon does some really good stuff. He was a pretty big star for a while. He really was.
He was.
Probably career-wise, I would say maybe he had a career bigger than most of the family, I'd say, because he was on television for a long time too. You know, I think he had 7, 8 seasons of his show or something like that. When it's syndication, you know.
He was on Saturday Night Live for at least a year in the 90s after In Living Color.
Yeah.
And somehow we get Jim Carrey out of all of this. I'm not
Yeah,
sure
and then
how
somehow
that
we
happened.
fucking get Jim Carrey out of all of this. Yeah. Yeah.
Which leads to Color, which
And-
leads to...
And Jennifer Lopez.
Wow,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
right. Came out of there, too.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
You know, Tommy Davidson, he doesn't get enough credit either.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I agree. I got to see him live on New Year's Eve once do stand up in like 91 or 92. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
It was fun.
He's so underrated.
Mm-hmm. I agree. His that famous clip that he did on In Living Color with where he played the stupid kid who wanted to be in a gang with what was the clown's name on In Living Color?
Homie the Clown.
Homie the Clown, yeah. And Homie the Clown just stops, looks at the camera, and goes, "These kids are ignorant," and just starts beating Tommy Davidson over the head with his bat, dude. Because this look on Tommy Davidson's face where he's like, "I'm gonna steal it so I can be in a gang," and he gets this cross-eyed kind of stupid look on his face. It was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
He is. Let's see what else about the I know, loving this movie, there's a lot of stuff that I can quote from it, and one of my favorite quotes is when they start shooting at Keenan, Ivory, Wayans, and Slade, and Keenan's just running around everywhere, and Slade's like, "Man, I thought you were trained for combat." He's like, "I was. I ain't never been in it though."
That's so good. I'm a soldier, man. I've been trained for combat.
Yeah, and then they start shooting.
So good.
Yeah, he's like, "What are these fucking medals for then? Oh, this one's for typing. This one's for surfing."
Oh, I got that one.
And he meets the other dude who's lost his eye, and he goes, "I was an intermediate administrator too." Well, there we go. You know,
Messed around in the office one day, and
then when the damn fools hit me in the eye, he's like, "What are those fucking medals for? This one's for surfing. Oh, I got that one too."
I liked one of my favorite lines was when they go back to it's Marlon. Which Wayan is it that's trying to collect the money with Kadeem Harrison? Is it Marlon?
That's Damon. Damon and Kadeem.
Damon and Kadeem. So okay, so yeah, but they go back to Mr. Big to report they got their asses kicked by the mom. And at the end of it, he's like, "Get out of here!" And he's like, "Yes, Uncle Mr. Big." And for some reason, I just started laughing my ass off. I don't know why, but yes, Uncle Mr. Big made me laugh really hard, really hard. And my other favorite line was when he got hooked on that gold, he changed. Jesus Christ, this fucking movie.
You started owing people a lot of money, crazy money, Jack. Oh God. How do you go to the bathroom with all this stuff on?
Oh, that's what. Yeah, exactly. Oh my God, I love it.
bad fashion, it'll kill you.
I guess so. I mean, it is what it is.
So, what do you give it?
Oh man, that movie is actually it's a 10 out of 10 for me.
You're going all the way to the 5.
Going all the way to the 5, huh? Gentleman's 10. Huh? All right. Marty?
I give it a 3. I mean, I really like it a lot, but yeah. It's not the greatest thing ever made, but I do think it's really hilarious, though. So
I think I'm going to sit it in the middle. I think it's right at that level of like Zucker, Abrams, and Zucker's sort of Airplane level, and I would give that. If I haven't rated it on the show yet, but I would probably rate it what I'm going to give this, which is a 4.
4, that's good too.
I think it's pretty solid 4.
We'll
I think Gentleman's 8.
Full spectrum.
Yeah. That was good. I haven't, like I said, I haven't seen that in years. One of my favorite things about this program and that we do is A, getting exposure to weird new stuff I haven't seen, and then B, getting to kind of force revisit on things I haven't watched in a long time because I've been watching everything else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you see something like this and you're like, oh, that's why you watch that.
And then our second movie today,
yeah,
which is one that I like to watch maybe twice a year. What is Enter the Dragon, Cliff?
Enter the Dragon. Boy, I feel like I shouldn't have to introduce this movie.
I know.
Enter the Dragon, 1973, rated R, 1 hour and 42 minutes. A Shaolin monk travels to an Iceland fortress to spy on an opium lord, who is also a former monk from this temple, under the guise of attending a martial arts tournament. Directed by Robert Klaus, written by Michael Allen and Bruce Lee, or Michael Allen, my apologies, Bruce Lee. Stars Bruce Lee, John Saxon, and Jim Kelly. And then your storyline is Enter the Dragon revolves around three main characters. Lee, a man recruited by an agency to investigate a tournament hosted by Han, since they believe he has an opium trade there. And Roper and Williams, who are former army buddies since Vietnam, and they enter the tournament due to different problems that they have. It's a deadly tournament that they will enter on an island. What a terrible storyline.
Old convoluted version.
Yeah.
It's a classic storyline for that time, though.
No, the whole sister being raped or sister being killed or that type of thing in these movies to drive the hero, especially in these kung fu movies, it's fucking so. It's almost a trope. It is a trope. Not almost.
And IMDb has terrible synopsis a lot of the time too. They sound like they were written by AI.
Yeah, totally.
So it's just like, yeah, there's a better way to describe the movie sometimes. But that's where we like to read it from and poke fun at the synopsises every week. But I guess we'll start with, there was a nice Criterion box set of Bruce Lee's movies that came out. I want to say Blu-ray and Bruce Lee at the same time, and it came out Blues. There was a box set of Bruce Lee movies that came out from Criterion a few years ago that had all of his films in it. And so we finally get the two different versions of Enter the Dragon on home video. There's the theatrical version, which is about 3 minutes shorter than the one you just read off there. And then there's like the director's cut, which is the one we've been living with on video forever. That's the one that I was used to. But apparently the only real differences between these two versions is the extended cut. At the very beginning, you have that scene where he's walking with his fellow Shaolin monk leader who's telling him, and when it hits all by itself. And he's like, well, wait a minute, blah, blah, blah. That whole scene is only in the extended version.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then at the very end, when he's in the room full of mirrors, hey, that's a Jimi Hendrix song. How crazy is that? There's a little voiceover where he's flashing back to the enemy is deceiving you or whatever he's saying. And then he starts smashing the mirrors. And those are the only two differences between the versions. But I kind of like that extra scene, so I always watch that version. But it's still kind of neat to have the theatrical now as well. The pacing
I watched the theatrical for this, but yeah, I've lived with
the scene.
Yeah, because that's the version I've grew up with, is that extended version. I watched this on UHF stations as a kid over and over and over, and we kicked each other and we punched each other over and over and over, and did fake kung fu moves and fake flying kicks and fake screams. And fucking then Sho Kosugi showed up with his fucking Enter the Ninja movies. Yes. It was all about throwing stars and fucking nunchucks and shit you couldn't get your hands on.
Well, it's funny you bring that up, because you remember that TV show, The Master, with Lee Van Cleef.
Yes.
Well, the first episode of it, directed by the same guy who directed Enter the Dragon.
Robert Klaus. That's hilarious. Right? And that's Sho Kosugi. And that's Sho Kosugi.
Sho Kosugi was on that show too. So,
Jesus.
And then blink and you'll miss Jackie Chan and Enter the Dragon. I see him every time now, because Bruce grabs his hair, pulls his head back, and you get that close up to Bruce's face while he snaps his neck off camera. But it's like, hey,
is that Sammo in the first fight scene?
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
I believe so. Yeah,
that's Sammo Hung in the first fight scene, right? Because I'm like, okay.
Yes,
because I looked right as soon as he stood up for that opening scene, and I was like, that's got to be Sammo Hung, and that's probably the last time Sammo Hung was ever taller than somebody on film, because he's not a very tall dude either.
Yeah.
Anyway, he looks so much bigger than Lee in the movie. You know what I mean? He looks much more, I guess, large.
Yeah, I think he was maybe I could be wrong. I think he was like maybe a teen or maybe like in his 20s in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
Enter the
And
Dragon.
he went on to make some fantastic kung fu movies. I mean, he
Oh
went on
yeah.
to make some fantastic kung fu movies.
Oh, definitely.
It's-
Like
and
yeah.
probably one of the rare kung fu television shows in America.
Oh yeah. Martial law.
Martial law. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was because of Enter the Dragon I became a martial artist. But I think that's the reason why a lot of people became a martial artist was because of Enter the Dragon.
It's that and the Karate Kid.
Yeah, that too.
You know, those two things together. I mean, I started into martial arts because of the Karate Kid for a while. Yeah.
But we were
Okay.
into it even before Karate Kid came out, though, right,
Sure.
Cliff? Because,
Yeah.
like you were saying,
absolutely.
UHF stations on the weekend, it was either Godzilla marathon or Kung Fu marathons, right? And
Yeah.
we were just eating that shit up. I remember
Yeah.
trying to get my parents to take me to lessons when I was a little kid, which
Yeah.
lasted for about 2 weeks before they got tired of taking me to them. But I was into it.
Oh yeah, I
Well,
can
and
remember watching it with my dad when I was 7, and Enter the Dragon came on, and I was like, oh my god, I want to do this and just be just like Bruce Lee, and so they enrolled me in martial arts, and stories, rest is history from there.
Here you are years later with God knows how many stunts and black belts and asses whooped in your hands, sir. If you guys
Yes.
don't know, Robert's a martial artist for, what is it now, 25, 30 years, something like that?
Let's see. Hold on. 39 years.
39 years. So
Yeah.
he's pretty good at it, and he's also a stunt man. So he's also used to dealing out and taking beatings. So yeah, he's got a pretty good stance on my opinion. We should probably listen to him when he talks about Enter the Dragon. He's probably got more relative experience and knowledge than we do on the fucking subject. So.
Maybe a little bit.
But one of my favorite movies. I don't watch it as often, but every time I watch it, I enjoy the shit out of it. It's so hard not to enjoy the movie. He gives you a little bit of, that monk sort of wisdom to enjoy alongside the ass whoopings that he's dealing out throughout the film, and it's fantastic. And I also feel like he's starting to move kung fu out of its. He does the kung fu differently. Like, if you watch Drunken Master or, the 36 styles of, Shaolin or something like that. And the kung fu's it's like a dance, right? It's very much, It's very performative and very, expected. And then he moves into a style that's much more like a fighting style, right? Where he's kicking dudes and punching dudes. And, I love at the very beginning of the movie, he shows you he's got ground skills, takes a dude down, puts him in that scissor lock, and then, does some throwing techniques. So he's using some judo or aikido type skills. He's very well rounded as a martial artist. You know what I mean? And I don't think you see a lot of that in kung fu movies, at least until later when we get into more of the Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and we move into the flying wire styles and all that, where it gets so fast and so frenetic. Oh boy, that type of thing. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I dug that style a lot.
Yeah, I think with his style in the movie, he wanted it to be more like well, let me put it this way. Because of him is the reason why MMA exists. So the way his fighting style was, it wasn't more of just like the old kung fu movies we were used to seeing. He wanted to make it more of a realistic type fight. But just like you said, with the ground moves and the flipping and the punching and the kicking like that. Because of his style, Jeet Kune Do, he made it to where, okay, this is more realistic than what we see, like the flying monks and the flipping everywhere type thing. It was more of a ground and not ground and pound, but more of like, face to face. You know what I mean? And that's one of the reasons, a lot of people like it. Why I like it is that you get to see the way he choreographed it, the way, you get to see the punch, you get to see the kick look like it connect because of the way he wanted it done.
Very much, very much. And, and he was known for being pretty hard on his fellow stuntmen. He was
Yeah.
not known for pulling. I mean, pull him, but, he'd also probably hurt, right?
Yeah. Yeah, but every movie he was on, though, but the Bruce Lee was on, he got challenged by an extra, or somebody just wanted to fight him,
Mm-hmm.
and he would humble them.
Yeah, you get that many guys practicing martial arts, so there's somebody's gonna try and establish some sort of stupid pecking order, right? That's gonna happen.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. I think, oh gosh, I forgot what movie. It might have been Enter the Dragon, where extra was sitting on a wall and he called out Bruce Lee, and Bruce Lee beat him, and then he just picks him up and says, "Go back and sit on the wall now." Like, okay.
What else you gonna do? You get your ass whipping. There's your proof. Go sit down.
Yeah,
I love that. Is this his best? What do he make? 5 or 6? I think
it's 4 complete movies, right? And then the incomplete Game of Death. Is that the right number?
Yeah,
you have the Big Boss, the Chinese Connection, The Way of the Dragon, Enter the Dragon, and then the reconstructed Game of Death.
Which one's the one with Norris? Is that Way of the Dragon?
The Way of the Dragon, the one before this, which is sometimes called Return of the Dragon.
Return of the Dragon.
Yeah. That's what I've noticed as.
Yeah.
In the Fist of Fury and the Big Boss, the titles were actually swapped.
Right. Yeah, one of them's called the Big Brawl, also, right?
The Big Brawl. There's one. Yeah. No, is that Jackie Chan? I think that's Jackie Chan.
Movie.
It's Big Brawl. Okay, that's Jackie Chan.
Yeah.
My bad.
Like I said, it gets confusing.
It does get confusing.
There's even a Game of Death 2 that's just a bunch of outtakes thrown in, and there's a whole Blaxploitation genre. It's really kind of
yeah. No, that's no kidding.
One guy created a whole genre.
But is this his best? Is this Bruce's best kung fu movie? Is this his best movie?
I mean, I think so. The other movies are great, but this one, there's just, boy, they were really hitting the pinnacle with this, from as far as the filmmaking aspect to the energy to the philosophy. The thing that keeps me coming back to it is the philosophy. But what do you think, Robert?
Oh yeah, this is his best. If he would have finished the other one, I just blanked on the title. I'm sorry. If he would have finished it would have been either that one or Enter the Dragon, because the other one, just the story in itself was just amazing, And but if I had to pick between those two, if the other one was finished, if I had to pick between those two, Enter the Dragon would definitely be, his best.
I agree. I think this is his best movie. I asked because I don't think it has 2 of his best fight sequences that I really enjoy, which is Chuck Norris and him in the Coliseum.
Oh, that's
that shit is so good. When he rips his chest hair out and then blows it out of his fingers, man, I'm just like, oh, this is so fucking good.
I think he wanted Norris in this one as the guy with the Irish name, right?
Yeah. What's his name?
The Anakin Skywalker scar years before Anakin Skywalker had it.
Oh God, what's his name?
Was it Robert Wall?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, Wall.
Bob Wall. Yeah.
Bob Wall. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who was actually Bruce Lee's, bodyguard.
Yes. And sparring partner too, right?
I believe one of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, he wanted him for that, but I don't know why he turned it down. But Bob Wall was a beast. I like that dude.
Boy, he takes a beating in that. But that nut shot he takes from that kick when he jumps over Bruce and Bruce does that kick straight up. It's like, oh my God, I don't care if it's a stun or not. That still hurt.
Yeah, and that's another thing about the way he would, do the fight scenes is, you see in the other kung fu movies, the hero finds a way to get out kung fu like or whatever, superhero like. But Bruce Lee's philosophy is like, get out of the fight any way you can. So that's why he bit Bolo Young. That's why he kicked Bob Wall in the nuts. He's like, do what you got to do to get out of a fight. To end the fight.
Yeah,
And
no, absolutely.
Yeah, even John Saxon does some of those methods of do anything.
Dude, I fucking love John Saxon in this movie. John Saxon in this movie is like a karate Han Solo. Like he's got that sort of swagger and that coolness about him, and he's sort of a ladies' man, but he's also kind of a rogue and kind of a Rafe, but yet if you challenge him, you're gonna probably get your ass kicked. It's pretty likely you're gonna get your fucking ass kicked
Yeah, they totally
he doesn't.
hustle that guy. Yeah.
Oh, dude. So, especially when he fights the big dude, and I'm just like, man, I love John Saxon in this fucking movie. What I especially love is like when they're taking him down and showing him the operation and shit, and he's all excited, and they get to opium, and he's like, because he's like, here's the point that I've reached where I'm out. Fucking see ya. Which means also we're gonna have to fight, aren't we? Yeah, we're gonna have to fucking fight. Shit. Yeah. Here we go. I just love it so much. I absolutely adore it.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, I made a mistake. It was John Saxon that bit Bolo.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. No, you're right on the calf. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but it's still the same type of do anything.
Still that same thing. Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's like you said, he's choreographing all these fights, so that's exactly what he's trying to get across to you is the fight any way possible.
And Jim Kelly's a lot of fun too. Yeah. Man, you come right out of a comic book.
Out of a comic book. I fucking love Black Belt Jones. I love him. He's so good.
Jim Kelly. Oh, man. And people actually, the black culture, my culture, I guess, they really enjoyed watching, Jim Kelly in this movie. I was like, what? A black hero, black martial artist? What is this about? And he has
cool motherfucker and a ladies' man. And like,
exactly. And you see that, you're like, oh, man, like, wow, okay. So we can do other stuff besides being a drug dealer and a pimp.
Yep.
So,
one of my favorite shots is one of the very first shots of Jim when he's crossing the street. Because this is one of the cool things about this movie is you get to see, like, I don't know what city it is, but it's definitely some city in China. And you get to kind of see like what the street level of China would have been like back then. Right. And you see this picture of Jim Kelly crossing the street and they're shooting. He's trying to make it cinematic by kind of looking around and all this as he crosses. But on the street right across, you could see all these Chinese people who are held up and are laughing and kind of pointing at this fucking guy crossing the street as they're filming him. Right. It's one of my favorite shots in the movie. It's like, because it's this mix of like old China and them making this fucking kung fu movie in the middle of fucking, whichever city they were in. It's great.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if I missed anyone, but it's been a long day or whatever the line is.
Oh yeah.
Like, that's why you had to die, man. You were macking too much.
I didn't, part of me is like, the way he died, or it was bad, but he was just being accused of something he didn't do,
Right.
Like you were the only one out there and somebody attacked my guards. It was Bruce Lee, but like, why are you going to blame Jim Kelly? I don't understand.
Oh yeah.
That's horrible.
I wasn't the only one outside.
Yeah, I wasn't the only one outside. Like, dang. Like, okay, well, I guess.
I shouldn't have to rat him out. You should know who's out there beating everybody up. And like I was mentioning before we got on, if this was a Dungeons and Dragons game, you'd be like, Dungeon Master, I am going to attempt to capture the snake. And the DM would be like, oh, really? Okay, well, then you got to roll to see if you get a 20 or something. Oh, shit, you actually caught the snake. Okay, well, you have to use it within the next 20 rounds or that thing's going to bite you. Oh, no problem, Dungeon Master. I will be done with this snake before 20 rounds. I love where he just throws that snake in the room and just kind of sits there like, yawn, It's almost like you're watching Kentucky Fried Movie already where they're jumping out of the window and then he just goes in, It's like, I'm going to use this snake. Most people would be like, get the snake out of here. He's like, no, this is going to come in handy later.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the basis for all video games of, any kind of side-scrolling beat-em-up video game. Where would that be without movies like this?
Right.
Yeah. Ooh, they should have made an Enter the Dragon video game.
Seriously.
Oh.
You know how many people knocked themselves silly with nunchucks after this movie came out
Oh
because
Jesus!
they have
So
no idea what they're doing with them. But Bruce is so precise. It's like, now I'm going to show you how to use
amazing.
this weapon. It's like a little demonstration, each little battle, and whack, whack, whack. And people are like, I can get those. And they're knocking themselves right in the middle of the forehead with it. Ding.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's one of my notes is that when he goes underground, that sequence where he moves from spear to sticks to nunchucks, and he's showing with each. It's cool to kind of see like, oh, he's a mastery of everything. Okay, he can use that. He can use that. He can use that. That's really cool.
Yeah.
I think that's really, really neat.
The UK would always cut the nunchucks out because it was too much.
Really?
It took years for those scenes to be reinstated in the
That's
UK.
insane. I can't imagine watching that movie without the nunchuck scene.
I know.
That's like, wow, that's no, you can't do that. That's like taking all the whip scenes out of Indiana Jones. What the fuck are you talking about?
Who does that? Yeah.
No, I love that Bruce is in this movie is kind of like an Asian 007, right? Like he's kind of working. Yeah. Dr. No, it's got a Dr. No vibe with the hand. He's working for the British government, and he's kind of like an Asian 007 who's kind of empowered with a license to kill. Like really,
but he's not the imperialist British.
Exactly.
Though. He's
exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But this is back when the Brits were in China and had influence in China and Hong Kong and all that weird stuff. So it's very politically a different landscape too.
Oh, definitely is. Yeah.
I'm glad we got spared all the honestly, just like they were like, well, she doesn't get raped, she kills herself to avoid rape. It's like, oh, thank God, I don't watch that shit.
Yeah.
But it also gives you good place for why he had the scar and all that type of shit, and why Bruce wants to beat his ass so bad. And,
outside.
Yes.
And there's always that guy right on the boat, the one dude who's snapping a fist at Bruce and all that shit. And he's like on the island right there. There's always that guy at a dojo or a martial arts thing.
Well, it's the game of no game. I follow it. I try to follow it every day in regular life,
Yeah. That was one of Bruce Lee's philosophies, though, the art of fighting without fighting.
Right.
He put that dude on a boat and he beat him without fighting him. So
yeah. I love that. And I love that the boat's going under too, because it's like, dude, you're good luck.
That guy gets taken care of pretty quick in the tournament. He's all
he was. Yeah. And I don't even know who he is or if he's a real martial artist. So I probably should look into that. I don't know. But I didn't like him, so obviously nobody did.
Yeah, that's a good question. Which one was he?
Music by Lalo Schifrin. Is that how you say his last name?
Yeah, Lalo did a lot of work, man.
I mean, he did that Class of 1984 movie we talked about years ago. He was supposed to work with Jim Morrison on the American Prayer album, but here on Enter the Dragon, he's providing us with all that iconic waka chicka, waka chicka, waka chicka, waka chicka, waka chicka, waka chicka. And all the eerie parts too, like when they're killing people, where he's stomping on their head or all that weird eerie, almost like horror movie music. But as you're saying, he does have a lot of credits, right?
A ton. He worked on THX 1138, Kelly's Heroes, Bullet, Coogan's Bluff, Cool Hand Luke. Now he didn't do all the conducting, but he worked on these. Dirty Harry, Joe Kidd, Enter the Dragon he was full conductor. Magnum Force, The Exorcist. He had unused music in The Exorcist. This dude worked on everything. He was the theme music composer for Starsky and Hutch, Sanford and Son. He did some music for it. Dude worked on everything.
Guy did the. Wow.
No, he just had some stock music used in 2 of the episodes. But it looks like he did do the Starsky and Hutch theme. So
wow.
Yeah, so he worked a lot, man. So putting him on Into the Dragon was a great idea. The music's perfect for the film. Yeah. Especially it really encapsulates. It's like we were saying about that last movie, Last Waltz, we were talking about it's a time capsule. This is a fucking time capsule of China in the 70s. from the British and all their involvement to the
Mhm.
streets, the city streets, and then the kind of crazy, like, you've got the white lady who's like dressed in all the British kind of like go girl shit, and you've got it's got all these different little hints of it. It's weird.
Oh man, yeah. I don't have you guys excuse me, heard of the movie? I know we're talking about Enter the Dragon, but have you heard of the movie The Warrior? I think it's on YouTube.
I believe so. Is that what's his name? What's the guy in that one?
I can't remember his name, but it was Bruce Lee's original idea for the show Kung Fu.
Yes.
Yeah, so they brought it back with his original idea and not, what Hollywood turned it into with David Carradine.
Interesting.
So that's why I was like, oh, just wanted to throw in some, that little thing in there for you. That has to do with Bruce Lee.
I did like that that this movie does like a mini Sorcerer where you get a backstory. You get John Saxon running for people who need money. You get Jim Kelly kicking a bunch of racist white cop ass and then having to run from the cops, and then you get Bruce's story about being asked to go. And so you get all this backstory that leads up into, and Sorcerer kind of does that. You get everybody's backstory and then suddenly we're in the jungle in South America. I thought that was kind of cool. Like I said, it's like a Chinese James Bond movie. I really dug it.
Oh, it could have been a who knows what kind of franchise.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah.
From this.
Yeah.
I don't know. It could have been a franchise, but I don't know if you could have ever topped it.
Well, that's true. But then again, who knows what he had up his sleeve?
That's true.
But I know what you mean. It's so perfect, though. It would have been hard. You'd be hard pressed. It'd be up there with like the Goldfinger or something where you're like, yeah, they made other good Bonds, but some of those early ones, they really hit it kind of perfect. Not mentioning all the horribly politically incorrect stuff in Goldfinger, but you know what I mean as far as like an action movie goes.
Wasn't there supposed to be a version where at the end of the movie, he's actually the leader of the island now and he's training these guys? Because in the movie Dragon, the Bruce Lee story, the final shot of Enter the Dragon was
up to the top. Yeah.
Nice. Well,
so I'm wondering if I don't know why they would have taken that out.
I'm glad you brought that movie up. I like that movie quite a bit. The Bruce Lee Dragon, the Bruce Lee story. But one of my favorite parts about it is, how he's being haunted by that figure that keeps coming after him that he's trying to protect himself from and all that. And then there's that they're shooting the mirrors scene, from Enter the Dragon, and he has that flash, and then he's like, "Hey man, where'd you go?" And I just really dig that whole scene, and I always think about it when I watch Enter the Dragon and I see him doing the mirrors. I always think about that scene from Dragon, the Bruce Lee story. They seem to so perfectly complement each other.
Oh yeah, makes you wonder if that's what really happened, though.
Right, exactly. That's exactly it. That's exactly where I'm like, did they really stop? Did he really get lost? Yeah. The only two things about this movie that I could say again negatively would be it has some film stock issues just from, there are some color jumps and some things just 70s shooting a movie in China using different stock, whatever they were doing.
You were watching that theatrical version.
Yeah.
The extended one on the Criterion, much better image quality. Because I looked over at the theatrical a little bit, and you could tell it was a different print that had those issues you're talking about. But this movie's always looked a little weird. Always just a little bit. Weird. On the big screen, it looks amazing. That's the way you're supposed to watch it.
Absolutely.
At home, it's everything you're saying. Yeah.
The only other thing I could think about would be the sneaking around stuff. Kind of, because it's more like, it's like if it was a Kiss song, it would be, I like to, sneak around all night and kung fu every day, to Detroit Rock City.
What was that? We need
my
total
joke.
Concentration. I'm going off into the other movie again.
So, but the point being, it's the sneaking around stuff is kind of slows the film down to a certain extent. It's at least we did when I was a kid because I just wanted more kung fu. I was like, why is he sneaking around? Just beat a bunch of people's asses, right?
Yeah.
and that's such a nitpicky thing. It's
Giving you a minute
such
to breathe. That's all.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's, you need it. But like, I'm trying to find any kind of negative I can, and it's hard to, because it's such an awesome fucking kung fu movie.
It is. I really can't find anything negative about it that would just stand out to me. You know, everything about it to me was great. As a kid, even now, looking at it, like I can't get mad at anything about it. No,
It does it does some weird things, you know. Like I
Yeah.
said, I think because of the 70s and they're trying things, like there's
Yeah.
a bit of a stop start with the whole fight at the end with
Mhm.
Mr. Han. You know, it's like to get to that mirror scene and that type of thing. But again, if you want to nitpick anything, you probably nitpick anything to death, right? But
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
one's really fucking good. I love that the big Korean guy that's what's his name? Bolo?
Bolo Young.
Yeah, he's in Bloodsport. He's the main bad guy in Bloodsport too, which I absolutely adore. And I got to talk to Don Gibbs about Bloodsport, and he said the only person who got harmed on Bloodsport, he said it was a great shoot. Everybody had a great time, and especially for an action movie, there were no injuries except for the people who got kicked in the face by Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Oh, geez, yeah.
Which made
about
me
that.
laugh. Yeah, same here. Same here.
Yeah, I heard he was unsafe, but okay.
Yeah, I mean, he looks good on film doing it. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
I think my favorite line is when Jim Kelly stands up and goes, "Mr. Han, I think I'd like to leave your island." He sounds like an offended woman on a date, on like a first date. He was like, "How dare you take me home?" You know,
Yeah.
it's really funny. Just his whole tone. I was just like, clutch your pearls at the same time too, Jim.
I am flabbergasted.
Exactly. Oh man,
And that's a big word to use, flabbergasted.
flabbergasted. That's 3 consonants at least.
Jeez. Yeah, but I like the philosophy Bruce Lee tried to teach in that movie.
I agree.
You know, they did cut a lot of it out, but the philosophy is just on point. I love it. You know.
Yeah, boards don't hit back. You
Yeah.
know, you need to have emotional content in what you're doing, not just fighting, but and emotional content doesn't necessarily mean anger. It means emotional fucking content, you know?
Yeah. Control yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, don't look at the finger, look at the moon. Otherwise you're
Yes.
going to miss the moon, you know?
Yeah, I
It's
look at it
important.
like Lawrence of Arabia. I can't imagine it with those scenes cut out. I mean, you
Yeah.
watched it with those things out, but it's still like, and it still works, but like, that's such a vital piece of the movie to me, where he's talking about.
Well,
the
you
punches
still
all
get
by
it. You just
itself,
don't get as
you know?
much. Like
That's
the
true.
theatrical version, all the 3 things I mentioned are in the theatrical version. So they're there.
Mm-hmm.
But you just don't get the extra little bits that make it a
extra
little
little
bit more
piece,
impactful. Yeah. And I agree. I think the director's version is the choice version. That's the one. If you haven't seen Enter the Dragon, shame on you, and go watch it right now and watch the director's cut. Shame.
The rare
Gosh.
time where we'll tell you to watch the director's cut first.
Yes, very much so. Yeah, that's definitely the one you want to see, because it's the one everybody saw back in the day. If you didn't see it in the theater, that's definitely the one you saw. Okay.
Oh, yes. So go watch it. Not now, but right now.
What do you give it?
Oh, man. Well, I mean, obviously, you probably know what I give it. You know, has to be a 10. Has to be.
I'm right there with you. It's 5 stars for me.
Yeah, I'm also 5.
Yeah.
You know.
It's probably one of the greatest kung fu movies ever fucking made. There are a couple of others that I could argue about with it, and we could vacillate back and forth about which one is his best fight scene. But this is the one where everything that he is trying to do in these films all coalesces and comes together perfectly. And he makes this amazing kung fu movie where the idea, the story, everything just fires perfectly. All of his bad guys are awesome. He's even got like John Saxon working with him at one point, you know, and I can't see John Saxon without hearing if that's John Saxon, I'm dead.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
your
can't.
Mitchell flashback.
Yeah, my Mitchell flashback. Yeah. But yeah, 5 stars. 5 stars.
5 stars. Yeah. Are we going through a 1 through 5 scale? Because I totally going past,
1 through 5.
way past it.
Yeah, no, and we do that, call that a gentleman's 10, which is 2 times whatever.
Mhm.
So yeah, 5 stars.
So yeah, I give it the highest, so 5. Yeah. Obviously. But yeah. But one of my favorites, obviously the quote that we just talked about was, when he's teaching his student, he's like, "What was that? An exhibition?" And he just tries to tell him we need emotional content, not anger.
Mhm.
And that's something I try and live by when I was training. And the quote is, "It's like a finger pointing to the moon. Don't concentrate on the finger or you'll miss all that heavenly glory." Yeah.
Mhm.
I love that line.
It's one of the best lines ever.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. There's a lot just buried in that one thing.
Well, we'll be
Right.
back next week with a couple of movies that could have easily been Jean-Claude Van Damme vehicles. They're 2 films about men in desperate need of some female energy. It's Bad Day at Black Rock and The Party Animal next week.
Those will, listeners, you'll want to tune into that. Party Animals have been a big influence on Marty and I, probably as much as Bruce Lee was, maybe more.
And
We'll
the
see.
juice and the I'm gonna get you, Sucka.
That's right.
When you watch old episodes of our public access show from the first year we did it, you can see the goofy special thanks, and we're saying like Jack Slade and shit in the credits.
Yeah.
And even
Yeah.
giving thanks to Mr. Big. It's like pretty
Thanks
much
to
every
Mr.
character
Big.
in the movie.
Yeah.
It's like we were silly kids back then, but
That and CB4, I think, were 2 of the big ones from back then that we both.
well, we made CBD.
Mhm.
Not
Yeah.
that was nothing to do
We
with
didn't get a
weed.
big
It
ass
was
biscuit.
Comic book diaries. Oh my.
Great.
You guys want to get out of here on a quote?
Sure.
Yeah. Just
What do
to
you got,
quote
Marty?
anything.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Just a
quote from
quote
one of
from
the movies today.
One of the movies.
Oh man. Let's see.
I'm a soldier, man. I've been trained for combat.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So, man, do you understand what I'm saying, brother? No, actually, I don't, because I grew up in an all-white neighborhood. I didn't know how to dance. The only dance I knew was that little Springsteen dance. The I love Springsteen. And to quote our Negro poet Don Cornelius, peace, love, and soul. That's my quote.
It is like a finger pointing away to the moon. Don't concentrate on the finger, or you will miss all of that heavenly glory.
Yes.
Robert, thanks so much for coming on, bud.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thanks so much.
It's a lot of
All
fun.
right, we're out. Later, y'all.
Thank you. Bye.
Don't miss an episode. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast, like us on YouTube, or give us a 5-star rating on the podcast app of your choice.